Santiago del Carmen Maria, the queen of crowning thought. I speak truth unapologetically. It's my reign of reality and empowerment.
Today's date is November 26, 2025. Trump's illegal guard stunt gets soldiers shot. Yeah, it's your fault, Donald. Listen up, you fierce truth addicts, because I'm about to rip the Band-Aid off this fresh DC bloodbath, and it's gonna sting like hell for all the right reasons. So pour yourself something strong and settle in while I drag this orange catastrophe through the mud he deserves. 2 National Guard soldiers, brave kids from West Virginia and God knows where else, get ambushed and pumped full of bullets just blocks from the White House this afternoon, one with his head all bloody and the other fighting for life in separate hospitals. And the second the news hits, everyone's screaming the same goddamn thing. This is on Trump. This is all on Trump. He put them there like sitting ducks in his half-assed war on crime that's really just a photo op for his failing ego. I'm over here yelling at my TV because the suspect's some 29-year-old Afghan national who slipped in back in 2021 under who the fuck knows what vetting process. And instead of owning the clusterfuck he created, Donnie's down in Florida golfing and posting on Truth Social calling the guy an animal. Who'll pay a steep price, then pivoting to some bullshit poll about his sky-high approval like 2 lives didn't just hang in the balance because of his reckless bullshit. Can you believe this crap? These troops aren't even supposed to be there, folks. A federal judge just last week slapped down the whole deployment as straight-up illegal, saying Trump and his Defense Department cronies broke the law by turning the nation's capital into their personal militarized playground. And now the administration's scrambling with emergency motions to keep the troops locked in place because pulling them out would admit the emperor's buck naked. But no, instead of pausing to think maybe arming up DC like it's Fallujah wasn't the genius move he thought, he's ordering Pete Hegseth, that Fox News clown turned Secretary of Defense, to ship in another 500 guardsmen like more bodies will fix the mess he made. I'm laughing so hard it hurts, ha. Because that's Trump logic. Escalate the stupidity, blame the libs, and pray the cameras catch you looking tough while the real heroes bleed out on the pavement near Farragut West Metro. The White House went into lockdown. Secret Service hustled his spray-tanned ass to a bunker like it's 2014 all over again with that fence jumper. But did he stick around to comfort the families or tour the hospitals? Nah, he's too busy endorsing some random Honduran candidate and bragging about polls from his pet pollster, who's been kissing his ring since the Stone Age. And the backlash, oh sweet Jesus, the backlash is delicious. Al Sharpton's out there on every channel pointing the finger right at the bloated felon-in-chief, saying flat out he put them there. And social media's exploding with regular folks like you and me hollering that this shooting never happens without Trump's August power grab, deploying over 2,200 troops from states like West Virginia to clean up DC's crime that he exaggerated like a bad infomercial. One tweet after another, people are like Trump's fault, full stop. From retired attorneys calling it political theater, to grandpas raging that his violent rhetoric turned our streets into a target range, and even the Guardians noting how he posted once about the attack, then ghosted it for 4 hours while those soldiers fought for their lives. West Virginia's own governor, that hack Patrick Morrisey, jumped the gun saying they were dead, only to backpedal like a drunk on ice when the facts hit, conflicting reports. My ass, you premature obituary-writing prick. Now the families are traumatized twice over because nobody can get their shit straight in this clown show administration. I'm furious. I'm yelling into the void here because these aren't statistics, they're people. Young men hauled from their day jobs and families to play rent-a-cop in a city that begged for more actual police funding instead of this unconstitutional occupation that's got Democrats in Congress foaming at the mouth and locals protesting like it's 2020 Redux. Trump mobilized them back in August over crime concerns that were mostly his fever dreams, authorizing them to do law enforcement shit that's against every posse comitatus rule in the book. And now a targeted hit. FBI is calling it potential international terrorism, lone wolf style, proves exactly what critics warned. You don't flood the streets with out-of-state troops in uniform without painting giant bullseyes on their backs. The suspect's in custody, wounded bad. No ID on him at first, but they're pinning him as Romanula Lackenwell. And while the motive's still foggy, you can bet your last dollar it ties back to the optics of this foreign invasion vibe Trump's cultivating to scare up his base. Meanwhile, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser's standing there with FBI Director Kash Patel, the guy who'd sell his soul for a Trump tweet, and she's got that look like, this is your mess, clean it up. But he's just stonewalling like the loyal lapdog he is. What kills me, what really twists the knife, is how predictable this was, how every expert from NPR to Reuters screamed from the rooftops that militarizing cities doesn't fix jack shit. It just amps up the tension until someone snaps and boom. Here we are with helicopters evacuating bleeding guardsmen off the National Mall, while Trump's press secretary Caroline Leavitt feeds us platitudes about briefing the boss. Briefing. He's been briefed on everything from Epstein to his own indictments, and it never changes a damn thing. Just more deflection, more law and order bluster, while the Joint Task Force DC scrambles to confirm several members involved and swears they're coordinating with Metro cops like that erases the illegality. And the media. CNN's got the timeline, apps calling it an ambush, but even they're tiptoeing around the core truth. This blood's on his tiny hands, the same hands that signed off on tariffs that jacked up prices and policies that gutted vetting for immigrants he now wants to demonize. I'm cackling through the tears because the hypocrisy's so thick. He praises the Guard as great people now, but treated them like disposable props during his first term, gassing them for a Bible photo op, and his cult's already online screeching that it's fake news. Blaming him, like those soldiers signed up to be sacrificial lambs for his re-election fever dream. This isn't just a shooting, it's the rotten fruit of Trump's America, where ego trumps safety every time, where he'd rather flood the zone with troops than fund the social programs that actually cut crime. And now we're paying with lives while he hides in Mar-a-Lago dreaming of dictators. Wake up, country. This is what happens when you let a con man play general. You get chaos, you get coffins. You get a capital that feels like a war zone because the commander and thief can't admit he's wrong. I'm done, I'm spent, but mark my words, if those soldiers pull through, and God, I pray they do, this story's far from over. It's just another scar on the hide of this failed presidency. Oh, and dearest MAGA, I was not talking to you. I just want to thank you all, like, share, and follow to stay connected. I am Santiago del Carmen Maria, the Queen of Crowning Thoughts, because I say it like it is. Copyright 2025 Independent Writer, Crowning Thoughts Truth Speaker, AI video content creator, writer, blogger, Santiago, DC. Maria, all rights reserved.